And tonight,
In news, Concordia Christmas concert.
And in sportsmen, soccer crash Finlandia 5 goals.
And on arts and entertainment, baby, it's Halloween.
all that and more on Concordia on Air.
Welcome to Concordia on Air, everyone. My name is Parker,
I'm Jackson.
and we have a lot to talk about today, Jackson, including a very, very special holiday that is coming up during our fall break. What holiday is that?
I believe it's Thanksgiving.
Is it Thanksgiving? Oh, I was actually thinking it was going to be Easter.
Ooh. I think it might be too late in the year for Easter.
Well, it might be
What's the one where you
too
dress up?
early for Thanksgiving. You dress up. You commit acts of violence. Is that a part of it?
Oh, a wedding!
Oh, a wedding. Oh gosh, I've been to a
wedding,
few weddings that have been like that actually. You know what? No, I remember. How could I forget? Christmas. That's what we're celebrating. Okay, fine. We'll stop being silly. We have Halloween coming up.
That's the one.
We are wearing some very special costumes today in the studio. It may not look like it, but today I am dressed like an 80s teenager. Is that coming through?
I think so.
Thank you.
I
Thank
am,
you.
Wearing this nice slasher shirt, and I have also been slashed myself. You can see the stab wounds right here. You can see the wall
Oh
behind
my
me.
goodness, you're see-through. You're a ghost.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Maybe I'm the ghost of a stabbed victim.
Ooh,
spooky
spooky. No, that is very, very scary. So of course next week we have our fall break coming up, which I am so looking forward to. I think we all very much deserve this break. And Halloween lands on the final weekend. Do you have any Halloween plans, Jackson?
I have a couple parties while I'm back home celebrating break, but
He's
I
gonna
do
party.
come up back to campus just in time for Halloween. So I think
Nice.
I'm going to do whatever Halloween does in Moorhead and figure out what's going on.
And
here.
boy, does Halloween do a lot in Moorhead. I think all of us Cobbs know what we're talking about. I'm just joking. I don't think we really do know what to do in Halloween in Moorhead. If you're over the age of 21, it's a lot easier, I will say. Do you have any specific costumes planned out?
I'm either thinking of a sandworm in honor of the movie Dune,
Okay.
or a brick. I don't know.
A brick. And what is drawing you to be those two items?
Well, I like worms.
Yep.
But
Good
I
enough
also
reason.
find bricks to be important in building materials. It's an important building material, and there needs to be more bricks. So I'm doing some brick activism, if you will.
More bricks. You know what? That's something I can get behind. You know, us cobbers here at Concordia, if we know anything, it's about bricks, specifically yellow bricks. That's what all of our buildings are made out of. Well, I love that activism. Thank you for bringing attention to this cause.
Yes. What do you plan on being for Halloween?
You know, every single year I don't have enough money to get a really cool costume together, so I kind of just scrape something. The last 2 years I've been a cowboy, so I wear denim on denim with a cowboy hat that I have. But this year maybe I'll attempt a little bit more. So, stay tuned to the gram and we'll look at that. All right. Well, thank you everyone. Now we have news with Andy and Glory.
And like our host will say to remain official for the official event, welcome to our new segment tonight. My name is Andrew.
My name is Glory.
After 8 weeks of intense classwork and co-curricular activities, students and staff will be taking a break at least from classwork starting this Friday midnight. The 1 week break is expected to present a chance for rejuvenation and preparation for a straight comeback for the remaining 7 weeks. Some will take it as a free week. To some, it will be a window to catch up with schoolwork and any other missed activities. To others, a 7-day rest period will allow them to near the sky as they fly to visit family and friends in other states. It will also be an opportunity for some students to put extra coins in their pockets, as both on and off-campus jobs will be plenty. Concordia on Air wishes you a wonderful and fruitful fall break.
Well, speaking of break, gives us a great time to prepare for the Christmas concert. Ticket sales for the 95th annual Concordia College Christmas concert with the theme "And Glory Shone Around" will begin at 9 a.m. Tuesday, November 2nd. To purchase the tickets, visit concordiachristmas.com or call 888-477-0277 or purchase at the Memorial Auditorium box office. The Concordia Christmas Concert is one of the best-known events in Midwest, with thousands attending each year, and it will feature nearly 400 student musicians, all from Concordia College. The Moorhead concert will be held in Memorial Auditorium on the Concordia campus at 7:30 p.m. Friday, December 3rd, and 7 p.m. Saturday, December 4th, and 2 p.m. Sunday, December 5th.
And to our local news in the health sector, residents and patients of Plymouth Twin Cities have all the reason to smile after nurses head back to work on Wednesday morning after a 3-day strike. While denouncing the strike, the nurse union said through a press statement released, and I quote, "Alina Health is pleased to have our staff back at work and welcoming patients for emergency and urgent care services on our Wealth House campus in Plymouth," end of quote. On whether their concerns had been addressed or not, the statement read, and I quote, "Throughout negotiations, we have offered a comprehensive contract. Our current proposal, which is unanimously recommended by the union bargaining team, yet not ratified by its members, includes an immediate wage increase as well as other benefits. The current paid time off benefits offered would continue under a new contract. Services started getting back to normal today and is expected by tomorrow all of them will be back."
Speaking of health, the White House details plans to vaccine 28 million children ages 5 to 11. Children ages 5 to 11 will soon be able to get a COVID-19 shot at their pediatrician's office, local pharmacy, and potential even their school. The White House said Wednesday as it detailed plans for the expected authorization of the Pfizer shot for elementary school youngsters in a matter of weeks. Federal regulators will meet over the next 2 weeks to weigh the safety of effectiveness of giving low-dose shots to roughly 28 million children in the age group, within hours of formal approval, which is expected after the Food and Drug Administration signs off and the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention Advisory Panel meets on November 2nd to 3rd. Millions of doses will begin going out to providers across the country, along with the smaller needles needed for injecting young children. Within days of that, the vaccine will be ready to go into arms of a wide scale.
And now across the borders, another big push towards electric vehicles is being made in the UK government's latest strategy to make the great shift to a virtually zero carbon economy. In a story published by BBC, ministers are investing 620 million pounds in grants for electric vehicles and street charging points. Car makers will be mandated to sell a proportion of clean vehicle each year. An extra 350 million pounds is promised to help the automotive supply chain move to electric. The new plan set out by the government is supposed to dramatically reduce greenhouse gas emissions to reach to a target of net zero by 2050. The announcement comes 12 days before global leaders meet in Glasgow to negotiate how to curb climate change. Achieving net zero means the UK will no longer be adding to the total amount of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. On Tuesday, the government also announced a strategy to address emissions from the UK's 30 million houses building. Homeowners will be able to apply for grants of up to £5,000 to install low-carbon heat pumps to replace the gas boilers.
2 bombs attached to a bus carrying Syrian troops exploded in Damascus during the morning rush hour Wednesday. A military official said 14 people were killed in the attack, one of the deadliest in the capital in years. While the Syrian government's decade-long conflict with insurgents continues in parts of the country, including the rebel-held northwest, bombing in Damascus have become exceedingly rare since President Bashar Assad's troops pushed opposition fighters from the capital suburbs in 2018. The explosions, which also left several wounded, happened at a busy intersection near a main bus transfer point where commuters and school children typically converge. After the blastly, Syrian State TV showed footage of smoke rising from a cheered bus as soldiers hosed down the vehicle and onlookers flocked to a nearby bridge to watch. No one immediately claimed responsibility for the attack, but several insurgents and jihadist groups that seek to overthrow Assad are active in Syria. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all for news today, and now to the interview with Cassie Bergan.
Hello. For tonight's Major on Major Spotlight, I'm here interviewing Cassie to learn a little bit more about her major. Now, Cassie, what is your major and what can you tell us about it?
So I'm a double major in international business and Chinese with a minor in Spanish. So with those international business overall is like part of that major is to get a minor in a second language. I'm taking the major route with Chinese, and so yeah, it's pretty fun.
Okay. As I understand, there is a study abroad credit that you will have to do at some point in your major. Have you done that? Or if you haven't, if so, where would you like to do that?
So that's a wild story, actually. I'll get to you as soon as I can. But
okay.
So with the pandemic, obviously I was supposed to go to China. That is not looking like a possibility in my time at Concordia anymore, as it's completely shut down by the government. And so plan B was I was signed up for the Spain trip to Sevilla, where I was going to exchange Spanish credits for Chinese language credits because they offer it. So I was going to go to Spain to learn Chinese. That is not looking feasible for me personally in the upcoming semester, but I'm still signed up for the upcoming fall semester to do exactly that. But yeah, so with international business, you have to at least minor in a language. You also have to study abroad a semester and do an international internship.
Okay. How would you say, like, obviously, pandemic aside, how would you say Concordia as a campus as a whole has really accommodated your major?
It's the reason I'm at Concordia. I knew I wanted to study Chinese and pursue that. I started that in high school and really fell in love with the language and culture after. I did fortunately get to go to China on a scholarship when I was in high school. And so I knew I wanted to continue studying the language. And my option at the time was, it was like May before graduating high school, and I thought I was gonna be a linguist in the Air Force because that was something that was offered to me. And through like personal reflection and everything, my Chinese teacher from high school actually told me to apply for Concordia because she went there and she majored in international business and Chinese. And she told me how her perspective of learning a language in a liberal arts school and taking it more step by step and learning the language with the culture. And something I love about Chinese is it's very artistic. And so I did kind of think about, did I want to go in and learn how to interpret Chinese, or do I want to learn spend 4 years on language instead of a year and a half? So that's actually why I'm here and chose a school, because one, Chinese as a major, my only options were, I think, St. Olaf and the U of M and Concordia was the only one who tied it with a business major. So yeah, I think in that sense, it's really, really unique and definitely is what brought me here.
Okay. So being an international business major, obviously, there's the whole aspect of learning a language, which we've discussed. What kind of business are you interested in doing, like marketing, or the more like business relations between an American-based company and, say, Chinese representatives? What kind of business aspect are you interested in?
That's a really good question, because like other business majors, you kind of get put into a career path after. So like there's finance, and then you want to become like a financial advisor. There's marketing, and you go into marketing. Management, you go into management. And that's not true for everybody, but then there's me, where my like specialty in business is actually a language. And so there's lots of options with that. My personal goals is nonprofit I've looked into a lot of like humanitarian work, like natural disaster relief, and then probably leaning towards management on that end. But a lot of options. My internship for Spain right now is looking like trade between Spain and China, which is very fascinating if anyone wants to look into that later. But yeah, so lots of options.
Okay. And as I understand, you're a part of the International Business Club. What can you tell us about that for the rest of campus?
Well, International Business Club is not only for international business majors. Our vice president is actually a global studies major and Spanish major. Our treasurer is a finance major, and we have a Spanish major, education major on board as well. We also have two other international business majors. So we really want to open the club up to anybody who's studying a language and is interested in study abroad, as that is an aspect of the major. We also open it up to anyone in business who wants to take their business skills more international. So we definitely are trying to market and advertise to people in any related majors and talk about the impacts of international business and how that affects everyone. So with that, I actually brought to you our Carver Expo game, if you want to play.
All right.
So this goes into like marketing for international business. We have to change movie titles in order to translate them into different languages. However, they don't always translate perfectly when you bring them back to English. So here's a little multiple choice for you. The Teeth of the Sea is the name that was translated in France to either Jaws, Finding Nemo, or Free Willy.
Well, I feel like Jaws would be too obvious of a choice, so I'm going to go with Free Willy.
You were right with Jaws, actually. I wanted to start easy.
It's always the easy one.
All right, so here's the other one. Grandpa Carl's Flying House. Is that Up, Bad Grandpa, or Meet the Fockers?
Last time it was the obvious choice, and there is a old man named Carl in Up, so I'm going to have to go with Up.
Correct. You're so
Sweet.
smart. Join International Business Club.
Oh, I might have to.
The next one, fantastic, emotional turmoil. Is that Titanic, The Greatest Showman, or Inside Out?
I think it could fit either one of these three, but I think the most emotional turmoil is, in fact, in Titanic.
Incorrect.
Dang.
Try again.
Inside Out.
Yeah, for sure. And then the last one. Superpower Dare Die Team.
The Suicide Squad.
It is not Suicide
Oh,
Squad.
it's
Your
not
other
the
options
Suicide
are
Squad?
Avengers or Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters.
Correct.
Oh,
Look at that. Superpower Dare Die Team. That's how it's translated to in China.
Ghostbusters.
So-
I'm going to get a t-shirt that says that.
If anyone's interested in playing similar games to this, on November 4th, we are, as a team, having an event where we play a similar game to this. It's a little different, but it's on the same concept of how movies are translated in different languages, and then there's going to be prizes, and we invite everyone to come play.
Well, thank you so much, Cassie, for coming on down and answering my questions and talking about the International Business Club. I think that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much. And now to sports.
Thank you and welcome to the sports news. How about taking a 6-hour bus ride to play a game less than 24 hours later? Concordia used that portion to erase the memory of a 2-1 loss in Minneapolis on Saturday and rolled past Finlandia on Sunday in Hancock, Mich. The Cobras scored the first 5 goals of the game, outshot the Lions 27-11 to record their 3rd win in the last 4 games. Concordia College is now 5-8-0 in all games. Finlandia, who was coming off an 8-day break, falls to 6-9-0 for the year. Concordia held a 27-11 edge in total shots and a 16-4 mark in shots on goals. The next face-off was today, although we haven't received the official results.
Cobra senior linebacker Noah Jensen, Broomfield Scholar, was rewarded for his career game against number 17 ranked Bethel by being named to the D3Football.com National Team of the Week. Jensen is the second Concordia student athlete to earn National Team of the Week honors this season. Freshman punter kicker Damien Selus received the award on September 14th for his game against Presentation. Jason was one of the leaders of the Cobra black shirt defense that held the nationally ranked Royals to their fewest point in rushing totals of the season. Jensen's stat line covered almost over defensive category on the chart. He finished with 11.0 tackles, 3 quarterback hurries, 2 forced fumbles, and 1 fumble recovery, which he ran 58 yards for the Cobra's second touchdown of the day. All 4 of his stat numbers were career highs. Jensen leads Concordia in solo tackles and total tackles this season. He has 27 solo takedowns and 14 assisted tackles for a total of 41 tackles. The 41 tackles are single-season career high for Jason, who is second in the MIAC in solo tackles and 11th in the total tackles.
And Concordia rallied from a 1-0 deficit, won the last 3 sets and beat Minneapolis Morris 3-1, 20-25, 25-20, 25-20, 25-20, 25-23 to win its second consecutive home match. The victory also averages a 3-1 loss on Morris earlier in the year, where the Cobras won the first set and watched as the Cougars won 3 straight. Concordia used its most balanced offensive attack of the year to pull away from Morris. The Cobras had 5 players with at least 7 kills in the game, and 4 of those had at least 9 winners. Junior Brooke Carney led the team in skills for the second straight match. She came through with 11 winners and hit .233. It was her 7th double-digit kill total of the year, and the second time this season she has posted back-to-back matches with at least 10 winners. Cobras will finish off the season with 4 league matches. The Cobras will have their final road weekend of the year when they play at Gustavus on Friday, October 22nd, and at 7 p.m. and then head to Northfield to take on St. Olaf on Saturday, October 23rd at 1 p.m. The Guesties are currently ranked 25th in the list D111 national rankings. And now we're going to roll a package that was produced by one of our own, David Frey and I.
Whether looking for a meal or a quick bite, DS is always open for business to fulfill your needs for nourishment. But what's often overlooked is what's left behind once people are finished eating.
Well, my name is Jaleta Tosquera, and I'm a student manager at the DS.
We met with those behind the scenes to uncover more about the food waste that happens on and around campus.
It seems like a pretty simple term, but to like a food wastage, I have to divide that into 2. Okay, there's food wastage from the student's perspective, and there's food wastage from the production perspective. And I noticed there's a lot of food wastage from the student side. We don't know what meal the students are going to like, so they pick whatever they think they like. They just eat some, they leave half.
To counteract this overproduction, the school has been looking into many ways to reduce the ratio of wasted food items. From a student's perspective, we talked to Allison, a frequent visitor of the dining service who believes that the food wastage is a multi-sourced problem.
My name is Allison Sterling, and I am a freshman here studying biology. I think food waste in any food industry is going to be a lot because you have to you can't always plan exactly how much somebody's going to take.
We were curious to see if students had noticed any effort to minimize such waste in the college.
I see a couple people with pins on their backpack that says taste not waste, and I think that that's really great that Concordia has that slogan out there. I think that more people could probably be more aware of it.
So what is this Taste Not Waste program?
The Taste Not Waste program, they taste the food, they have the food, they take small quantities, and whatever they want, they add. That program should be implemented in order for them to minimize the production, taste whatever is new, or taste whatever they feel like they want to have. Then if they want to have more, they can have more.
Despite the efforts that the college has given, such as the Taste Not Waste program, the overall effectiveness of it is not clear. Before we let the students go on their way, we asked them how the college could better handle the output of food waste.
Take less than you need, and if you still want more, go back up. But life in moderation wise, that's, I think, just really important.
waste is minimized from the student side, production is going to look at that side as well, and they're going to improve. So I believe students should take that first step. Students should be the ones to take the initiative, not to waste food.
Hello and welcome to Halloween 333. Now, that number is special because it's exactly half of the infamous spooky number, 666, also known as 666. Now, Parker, what are we going to be talking about today?
Oh my goodness, Jackson, what aren't we going to be talking about today is the better question. Today we are going to be covering all things Halloween related. We have 3 Halloween movies, 3 Halloween songs, and 3 Halloween spooky jokes that you can tell your friends in passing. Today we're all going to just talk about how to get into the spirit of Halloween, how to really take this holiday, grab it by its horns, and just enjoy it for what it is. I personally love Halloween, and I think the season goes by really quickly every single year. In all 3 things that we're from each category that we'll share with you today, will just be a good way to get into the mood. The first movie that we are going to talk about is Beetlejuice. It's such a fantastic, scary movie. Jackson, can you explain to us a little bit more about what Beetlejuice is and why it's a Halloween staple?
Well, Beetlejuice is a great movie. Especially for the holiday. It follows this couple that recently has discovered that they are dead, which is a big shock. I know it'd be a big shock if it was discovered that I was dead, which I recently did.
Rest in peace.
They discovered that there are actually ghosts haunting their old house, and people are moving in, and they're like, well, we gotta scare these people out of our house. But they're not very scary because it's just Ghost Alec Baldwin and Ghost Gina Davis, and those are 2 very good-looking people that aren't very scary. So they hire Beetlejuice, who's played by Michael Keaton, who is a good-looking man,
yes,
but not under this white, gross makeup with this green hair. So he's like,
I mean a little bit, but like that's personal preference.
I guess I can kind of see it, but he's like,
Yeah.
I'm Beetlejuice, and he does scare the people. So yeah, it's just a nice subversion of the haunted house gimmick, where you actually follow the ghosts that are haunting the house rather than the family being tormented by the ghosts.
And I know Beetlejuice is one of my favorite Halloween movies purely because it is not a scary movie. I do not do well with scary movies. So if you want something that it still features some ghostly ghouls but also is a little bit more lighthearted, this is definitely a movie for you. But if you are a fan that does like something a little bit scarier, next movie that we're going to cover today is everyone's 90s favorite, Scream. 90s favorite or early 2000s? 90s, right?
90s, yeah. I think the first 2 were 90s, and then I think Scream 3 is early 2000s. But this one is definitely a 90s gem. If you don't know what Scream is, it follows a group of teenagers. There is a string of murders being perpetuated by the mysterious ghost face. And it's this discovery of who they are as people and who amongst their friends, among us, if you will, who is the killer.
Kind of sus, if you ask me.
Yes, there are multiple suspects. Famously, not Drew Barrymore, because, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this almost 30-year-old movie, she does die in the beginning despite being prominently featured in the marketing.
Yeah.
But she's the one we know is not sus.
Boy,
unless, of course.
They did a good job with that marketing. They said, oh, Drew Barrymore, send it through. She's on everything, every advertisement. Scream is such a classic, though, and definitely something worth watching. If you want something that's a little bit more nostalgic, this is my personal favorite Halloween movie overall. Halloween Town. Debbie Reynolds, the fantastic and late Debbie Reynolds, is featured as kind of a fairy godmother figure throughout the entire film, and it's about 3 children who slowly discover who they are as witches and warlocks, and they take on their newfound abilities and powers to save Halloween Town, that is which is being subjected to some dark and evil forces along the way. And of course, I'm sure we all remember this, a classic Disney movie, not scary whatsoever, but definitely just something kind of fun to get into the Halloween mood. Have you seen Halloween Town before?
Yes.
Of course.
I unfortunately cannot agree that it's not scary. It is a very terrifying film.
Okay. Well, you know what? We should revisit that later. Next up, we have 3 different songs that we want to talk about. I'm going to talk about the very first song. This is my favorite little spooky Halloween song to get into, and that is Halloween by Phoebe Bridgers. It's very dark, melodic, kind of creepy. The subject matter in the song is a little bit, it's a little bit like, ooh, like kind of makes the hair in the back of your neck stand up. Definitely something that you need to listen to the lyrics just to internalize. If you are someone that's in a little bit more of a sad, spooky mood, Phoebe Bridgers does the trick every single time. I think overall her album Punisher is just one of my favorite fall go-tos. I'm all about the vibes every single season. In the summertime, I'm blasting Nicki Minaj. In the wintertime, I'm blasting Fleet Foxes. In the fall, you ask, that's for Phoebe Bridgers. What's the next song we have on our list?
The next song we have is the song Something in the Way from Nirvana's Nevermind album. And I chose this because it has a very dark and foreboding sound. It's not ominous, I would say, but it does kind of like have an ominous feeling. It's a nice, dark, slow song. It's very much a departure from the typical Nirvana tempo that you're used to. It's very subdued, and there's just a lot of like creepy feeling lines, I feel like, and how they echo Something is in the Way. That's the title of the song, and it just has this very creepy vibe to it. It's all in all a part of a great album, but this is easily the darkest and kind of skeety song of it all.
That's fantastic. Our final song on the list is Somebody's Watching Me by Rockwell. This song completely inspired the outfit that you see me wearing today. I heard it this morning on TikTok. It has recently come back into popularity among our wonderful generation, that is Generation Z. And it has just kind of, been a part of the revival of 80s music in general, which I think is really fantastic. Before we wrap up A&E, I just have one quick joke for you, Jackson. One quick little Halloween joke that everyone can pass along to your friends. Are you ready for it? It's a little bit of dry humor.
Sure.
But I really enjoy it. I saw a commercial for a new horror movie featuring a clown. And that's it. Because apparently as a society, we have decided clowns, everyone, are the tier for the scary, for scariness. It's not, the big corporate banker that exploits everyone for money. It's not the weird dude that lives in the house next to you, that house, you hear screams coming out of. It's clowns.
Clowns are definitely very scary. You had me at the edge of my seat with that joke.
Boo, right?
Yeah.
Kinda,
Oh, gosh,
yeah,
you scared me.
So sorry.
You scared me.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on Concordia on Air. I'm Parker.
And I'm Jackson.
Have a great rest of your week, and happy Halloween. Ooh.